Each member is chosen for his or her own completely unique set of abilities.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
Good to know.
So my first question is obviously just sort of why Suicide Squad? I think you've been pretty candid about them sort of offering you the buffet of Warner Brothers characters, and you chose Suicide Squad.
I just always thought it would be a great cinematic property. And to be completely honest, I was incredibly jealous when I heard the first movie was being made. I'm like, damn, that is one DC property I would really, really want to get my hands on. So I've coveted My Neighbor's Wife for many years, and now I'm married to her.
Margot, you have played Harley Quinn so often now. This is like your James Bond, I feel like. What sort of did you want to explore in this Suicide Squad?
I feel like she was more independent than we'd seen her previously. She was, completely detached from Mr. J for the first time. Even though when Birds of Prey, they'd just broken up, she was not past the breakup. And so he was very much still kind of top of mind for her. And this time she's just like, she seems well and truly past that. She also is weirdly kind of focused and like in work mode in my mind. Even though for Harley, that doesn't mean that she's, straighty 180. I mean, she's still all over the map, but it is the most steady we've seen her before.
John, I imagine you've been offered every superhero under the sun. What was it about Peacemaker that sort of spoke to you?
Drew, first off, I want to say awesome tea. Second, I want to live in your imagination world where I'm offered every superhero under the sun. That's actually not true. I never actually thought I would be in the superhero franchise universe, just because, Joel has said oftentimes when you do something, you get, sometimes people's perspective, it's very difficult to change what they see. And unless there's a superhero out there that wears a baseball cap and jorts, I don't know what else I'm qualified for. So it was kind of, James is known for taking risks on cast, and he's known for intentionally casting for reasons. And, as soon as I met him, I knew I wanted to work with him, and didn't have any questions about Peacemaker or whatever, just kind of let him do his thing. And Peacemaker was born.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
This coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so sorry. Harley Quinn.
Bloodsport.
Well, how did you go about sort of choosing what squad members were going to be in this movie?
I would find great pictures of all the sort of super villains I was considering online. I would make big color copies of each of them. And I started placing them together on the walls to see who kind of fit together in what way, and who would tell this story that I had in mind the best. And then I ended up with the group that I ended up in, which means I had to not use a lot of characters I really wanted to use, but also I got to use a lot of characters who I never thought would ever see the movie screen in a million years. I never thought Polka Dot Man would be a major DC character, and now he is.
Were there any particular sequences that you were sort of nervous about or had a lot of fun shooting? I mean, the whole finale is so giant.
In these films, you do all these things together on set, and then you have a lot of alone time where you prepare. And then you have these, little set pieces where you go off in these little mini teams, and you're working on them separately. And so, me and John, we had that for a couple of weeks where we were working on this one sequence in the film, and yeah, it was great.
What was the sort of most fun part about working with James Gunn? Because everybody's talking about what an amazing experience it was to shoot this.
To be thrown into a room of a bunch of incredibly talented people who know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
Holding up their end and more. There's just no work to be done. You just get to play along, and you just kind of start rolling along with all that momentum. It's easy, and James makes it easy. He creates that
chili con carne.
Thank you, that you can build a house on.
Can you tell people what your approach is? Because it's half sequel, it's half remake, but I think you can go in blind, right?
100% you can go in blind. People can think of it as a sequel because I don't really contradict anything that happened in the first movie. but I did write it as its own movie. That was my vision of what the Suicide Squad was. So it is its own story. It retells the story of the Suicide Squad in a different way. And yet it doesn't really contradict anything in the first movie. So you can see it however you want to see it.
Well, thank you so much, James. I love the movie. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you. I hope people go see it in a big Cinemark theater.
Huge, huge. Yes.
That's how you got to see it.
Is this thing a dog?
A dog? What kind of dog do you think it is, mate?
I'm gonna go with Afghan Hound.
Oh my God, is it a werewolf?
Yo, they turned me into a werewolf! Yo, let me out!
Hey, he's not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know.